Hi guys, I hope you're all well. In this video I want to give you some Myfitnesspal tips. Now, two of these are just important things to consider when you're using Myfitnesspal, and the third one is a tip I would strongly suggest implementing to get the best out of Myfitnesspal. Now, the first thing to consider, unfortunately, even though Myfitnesspal is a great tool to use to track your food intake, it's important that you don't use their generic calories and macronutrients that they give you when you sign up. The reason being is protein is just set too low. This is usually based on government guidelines, which isn't suitable for trained individuals. So I'd suggest anywhere between 2 and 3.1 grams of protein per kilogram for lean individuals. So this would be people under 20% body fat for males and under 25% body fat for females. If you're over these body fat percentages, I would recommend setting your protein target based upon your goal body weight. So for example, if you were a male and your goal body weight is 80 kilograms, yet you're 90 kilograms at the moment, base your protein target 2 to 3.1 grams of protein per kilogram body weight based upon your goal body weight, the 80 kilograms, because otherwise protein will come out too high. Next consideration I want you to remember is, unfortunately, with regards to Myfitnesspal, you may notice that sometimes the calories and macronutrients do not add up. It's 4 calories per gram of carbohydrate, 4 calories per gram of protein, and 9 calories per gram of fat. However, often when you use Myfitnesspal, if you were to tally up the macronutrients, it wouldn't always equal the calories, and this is because of a couple of different reasons. The first of which is food companies are allowed to round up or down their macronutrients. So for example, if something is 20.4 grams of protein, they can round that down to 20 grams, or if something's 19.8 grams of carbohydrates, they can round that to 20 grams. So this doesn't seem a huge deal on its own, but if you think about every single food company is doing this, you can see where the discrepancies can lie at the end of the day when you tally up your macronutrients. It doesn't quite equal the calorie figures. However, just appreciate this is due to rounding, and realise there will be a small amount of discrepancies. In addition to that, it could just be a label error, so just keep this in mind and don't panic if there are some small discrepancies between calories and macronutrients. But the other tip I wanted to give you is make sure you're actually adding your meals to Myfitnesspal as the day goes along, because I see a common theme where people have a tendency to add their meals at the end of the day, and I wouldn't suggest doing this. The reason why is if you add your meals at the end of the day, quite often you can miscalculate those meals, and you input those meals, then you realise, oh, you're actually over your calorie figures. Whereas if you're actually inputting your meals as the day goes along, you can then use that last meal of the day to meet any of those calories or macronutrients you're short of. So make sure you're doing that, because it just allows more room for error, allows you to use that last meal of the day to make up the net difference of any calories or macronutrients you're short of. Whereas if you just input the foods after you've already eaten the foods, then you can easily go well over your calories and macronutrient targets. So I'd really strongly recommend inputting those foods as the day goes along, and then using that last meal of the day to make up for any of the calories and macronutrients you're short of. So keep this in mind. Hopefully that's opened your eyes to a couple of the nuances you need to be careful with Myfitnesspal, but also a tip to make sure you're definitely implementing to actually make sure you're meeting your calories and macronutrients accurately. So hopefully this has been useful. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Take care.